What's up, guys? We are back with our YouTube series talking about things in our lives when it comes to our Christian faith and our Christian walk. And today, not so popular demand, we're talking about dating. I'm sure you get this talk from your parents or whoever all the time, but I wanted to give you kind of 5 rules about dating as teenagers that I think that we should really think about biblically. And so this will also keep us to stay on our faith and stay on our Christian walk so we can serve Jesus the best. All right, guys, the first rule of dating is kind of an obvious one. Don't date anyone that's not following Jesus. And yes, I was very particular in my words. I didn't say just don't date a Christian. I say don't date anyone that's not following Jesus each and every day of his or her life. Because the reality is that especially when you're in a relationship, your significant other can pull you up or they can bring you down. And most times they're bringing you down if they're not following Jesus, if they are not in God's word each and every day. And really and truly that relationship may lead to sin in your life if you both are not following Jesus with all of your hearts. So that's the first rule of dating. All right, the second rule of dating is to set boundaries. All right, let's be honest. We're all idiots when it comes to feelings and relationships and physical touch and all these things. So it's a smart idea as Christians to set boundaries of, hey, we're not going to hang out alone in this certain space, whatever. So we have to set boundaries. I recommend that you write these boundaries down so they become kind of hard in stone and not fluid, because you can get yourself in a situation and these boundaries that you've talked about become a little bit wobbly and you get a little too flexible on them. So set boundaries. It kind of goes back to the whole thing of we want to protect ourselves when we are in a relationship because we want to serve the Lord more than serve the relationship. We want to honor the Lord more than anything else. And we want to protect ourselves from sin that may creep in our lives. And we all know that one of the biggest places of temptation are in relationships. So that's rule number 2. All right, rule number 3, little bit different one, but I think it's wise for us all to know. But if you no longer have feelings for the person you're in a relationship for, you should probably end the relationship, because if not, things are going to drag out. It may become a longer time where you may just make each other miserable or may hurt one another. So if feelings aren't there and you know, hey, I shouldn't be dating this person anymore, end it right there. Obviously end it in love. We don't want to ruin lives here, but don't drag things out longer than they should be. So that's just wise word. Okay, rule number 4, guys and gals, I apologize. Don't date just to date. All right, don't date because you have to or you feel like you have to. Don't even go into school or into your schools or into your life looking for relationships, right? Don't just date around. Have a purpose if you are going to date. The whole purpose of you dating and being in a relationship with people is because you think that this person you could eventually marry, right? And I think that's something important. And this is why I tell middle schoolers, no offense middle schoolers, that you shouldn't date at all, because you have no idea what you want to marry. You are a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old that's still trying to figure out yourself. So that's why I say don't date just to date. Date for a purpose, and don't be looking for a relationship. If it is the Lord's will and timing that you should be in a relationship, He will lead the person to you. I promise you. That's what God does. So rule number 4, don't date just to date. All right, rule number 5, and this is truly the most important rule, is pray through everything, guys. Before you are dating, pray that God would transform you, transform your heart into something that someone will want to marry one day. Pray for your future spouse or future person you're going to be in a relationship with, that they would be serving God and following God. And even while you're in the relationship, be praying. Always be in prayer that God would lead you in or out of a relationship, or that God would protect you in it. Because if we are not praying, especially in our relationships, then we are in trouble. We are not truly following the Lord, because He wants the best for your life. and He wants to talk to you. He's trying to speak to you each and every day, but we need to be listening to Him through prayer. So that's why I say rule number 5, that we need to be praying in everything and at all times, especially in relationships, is so, so important. So those are the 5 rules. Obviously, there are more things. If you have questions, you can drop them in the comments. If you want to talk to me in person, I'm always here. But those are the 5 rules to kind of keep it simple for our YouTube video today. Thank you for being here.